And for more perspective on the ISIL hostage situation, I spoke to Thomas Sanderson. He investigates emerging trends in terrorism as a co-director and senior fellow at a Washington think tank. And I asked him for his assessment of the developments.
It seems to be a lot messier than one would expect when dealing with a group like ISIS that is disciplined and well organized and is in control and has the leverage that it does have, both with the territory it controls and the fact that it has the pilot and the reporter, apparently, if they're still alive. I'm surprised that they've extended deadlines, that they've changed things left and right. If, in fact, they do still have these two individuals, such a drawn-out, discombobulated process would suggest that they really want this woman back and that the reasons for that are not well known to us at this point.
You know, we've been hearing the term proof of life, something the Jordanians asked for during this negotiation. Is this common, and why would ISIL broker something, especially so publicly, if a hostage wasn't alive? And you mentioned that female hostage or prisoner that they want in return.
Yeah.
What more can you tell us about her circumstances?
Well, I don't know much about her circumstances other than some of the basics. One, that she was a failed suicide bomber, that she came from Anbar province, that she's had brothers killed by apparently U.S. forces or Iraqi security forces several years ago that really drove her to do this. My sneaking suspicion is that if ISIS is prepared to give up these two men for her, a couple of things have to happen. One, there will be money. It will be passed surreptitiously or covertly so as not to get Japan and Jordan tangled up with the United States and Great Britain on ransom payments. And number two, that this woman has a connection, familial or otherwise, to a strong alliance partner of ISIS that they need to please in some fashion in order to maintain a particular delicate balance of relations in Anbar. So I think she has value that has not come to the surface yet.
And you just touched on this, but you know, Japan and Jordan have differing viewpoints. Jordan offering to cut a deal with ISIL, Japan's government saying it doesn't pay ransom. So how complicated does it get during these negotiations when you have these relationships with differing viewpoints? You know, it wasn't ever clear if the Japanese hostage would even be included in a possible exchange.
Yeah. I think that this will remain to be muddied, and perhaps intentionally. It could be that the Japanese want to demonstrate that they haven't paid anything, yet they've done a wink and a nod with the Jordanians to say, you manage the negotiations, and that there's some quid pro quo in here. We don't know what that is. There's so many options here. This is just speculation at this point. But having the Japanese negotiate and the Jordanians negotiate separately seems to me to be too complicated of a process for ISIS or for all of them concerned, and that to simplify things, they might want to just say, here's the deal, the bottom line, the people are released, plus money covertly, and then that's the deal. But there's too many starts and stops here to make me believe that things are going smoothly or that this woman doesn't represent more than she does. I think she has higher value than we understand.
All right, Thomas Sanderson, as always, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us
You're welcome.
on the show.